Hello, 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 and welcome back to the Dash Devs versus the World Showcase. We are loading up Game 2 right now. This will be PapaSchmo and Derp on the top versus Bressingham and mm2nescartridge on the bottom. My name is DJ Webb, and I am joined by Racer of the Last Race, Kupo. What's going on, Kupo?
Not much. How you, DJ?
I'm
D Web. Sorry, I don't know why I said DJ.
both are fine. It's really not a big deal. But yeah, I've been sabotaged by a person who may have an interest in winning the next game by being forced to do comms right before a race. Thanks, Kip.
Hey, that's Kip's general strategy. I'm pretty sure I calmed a race with him with it was him and Mass and Brass. He was doing some ops to see, who he was facing.
He's got the meta nailed down. Hey, if you control the commentary, just make your opponent commentate a match right before they have to play you. I was literally just in the practice room right now because I need to warm up. But this should be a fun one. We have a little bit different settings this time. We are still on multi-troid. For those of you that were watching the previous race, we were having some fun talking a little bit about how they kind of played without any real general rules for this one because MM2 and Brass were both much more familiar with the rule set on vanilla multi-troid. We are playing with those. If Kupo knows them, he can tell you. If not, we're just gonna kind of guess them together because I'm not 100% sure either.
Now that I understand the rules, I understand how to break the rules.
Exactly.
The rules are that if one player resets, the other player on that team has to reset. And when you're resetting or taking a death, you have to go back to the person who has the older save between the two. Whereas in the way Mass, Prof, Ace, and I were playing, you could reset and anyone could reset at any time and upload, go to any save, which would mean it would sync all the other the flags and like the inventory and anything else that you shared. But this one, you got to be a lot more strategic about that and making sure you don't take deaths.
Yeah, there was some stuff like so Ace had picked up the Varia at a grapple beam, and then he just immediately I think he saved either a Bubble Mountain or Croc, probably Bubble Mountain, and reset to there, so he was just closer to Lower Norfair than running out. Stuff like that we won't be seeing because you won't get whatever you collected since the last save. But yeah, I expect a few more saves for them because given so the settings we're playing, they're playing Chozo once again. All three matches today will have the Chozo item split. There is area randomization in this one as well as the bosses are shifted, which is a little different from shuffled. We'll talk about that later. So if you go into a boss check, you probably still want to do those generally, even if it's not something you are able to complete. So kind of have to coordinate. It's definitely very, very different. We're not saying one of them is good or bad, better or worse, whatever. But it's definitely going to be a little bit of a different feel to this one, which I'm excited to see.
Yeah, I'm really excited to get this race going. Papa Schmo and Derp both really strong runners. Bress and Net, MM2Ness also super strong. So we're just gonna see who routes this.
Yeah, and as a so we talked about this is a multi-troid as well as the first one. The next race, which I'm competing in, is not multi-troid; it's traditional co-op. So I am not, aware like in any way of what kind of strategy you're going to be using. Obviously, generally in co-op, you kind of want to be doing different things, but in multi-troid, like you don't have to go back and do what the other person, your teammate, has done, right? So we can see
Yeah,
some really, really crazy stuff, especially depending on what kind of early item sets you get. We are getting an update in the chat of the rule set, which states that races 1 and 2 apparently are counting for 1 point for this event, but the final race will count for 3 points.
Kip will also announce a grand prize via chat later as well that he's not divulged to anyone else involved in this.
Yeah, according to a certain chat command, we were playing for $370, and this is the playoffs of a tournament.
Is that dollars or doll hairs?
Apparently it's an Arby's gift card. Who knows?
Oh,
But
wow.
we are off here. So like we said, we're gonna have a very different feel to this for multiple reasons. And the final thing I said, we'll talk about this a little bit later. So in the last seed, bosses were shuffled. We've been doing boss shuffle in the randomizer scene for a while now. But look at already a lot of difference. Even two is just wall jumping up here for fun. But yeah, so boss shuffle, what that does is like you kill a boss and it opens whatever doors that boss is supposed to open. So for example, you kill, Kraid, and the Kraid E-Tank door unlocks. You kill Dragon, the way to Plasma and stuff unlocks. Kill Fantoon, the way to Wreck Ship, all the Wreck Ship doors unlock. This boss is shifted, which changes that to whichever boss is in the area you're in unlocks those doors. So if you go to Wreck Ship and you kill Dragon, that's still going to unlock the Wreck Ship doors. If you go to East Meridia, you kill Kraid, you can now unlock Plasma, stuff like that. So different on the strategic elements of that and what you can and can't do. It also, in my opinion, the best thing about it is that it kind of condenses the routing a little bit. If stuff like you get a Fantoon that's in Lower Warfare, and then the Wreck Ship is like 5 transitions away, and that's where your items are. Things kind of get a little funky, so it's definitely different.
We'll have to see how it plays out. I do think it kind of ends up leading to a little bit less backtracking and sort of balances Wreck Ship a little bit, where it's not like, unless it's Fantoon or unless it's open, like you don't go there.
Yeah.
But I mean, we'll see how this one plays out. We got power bombs early, which is good. And some supers. Nice.
And you can see a little bit of a difference here already. So MM2, expecting the ammo that they get early to be a missile or a super, was waiting at BT. PapaSchmo was waiting at 230. So actually, kind of, luck of the draw there, but they did get that earlier where MM2 is going to be here, gets the missiles and is checking BT, and then he's going to have to go down to 230. So a little bit of an advantage there. Not a ton, obviously. And with the early power bombs, you're actually going to be able to see wild divergence. I expect both of our runners that are here in Blueprint to check the portal down here, and then from there, these two runners the teammates are probably never going to see each other again, unless it happens by chance.
Yeah, I mean, checking this portal is one of the most powerful things you can do in area. Orphaning any sort of portal in area is a serious feels bad moment. So being able to go ahead and get that straight out of the way without wondering, is this Turian, is this like the front of Lower Norfair that I have to go check later, makes a huge difference later in the game.
And Wreck Ship, that is quite interesting.
Well, the boss is shifted again.
Yeah.
This could be Kraid. This could be a killable boss. And that would then unlock the ship.
Oh, and a reserve at the perfect time for PapaSchmo to shift refill and make it full. I think they literally planned that. I'm not accusing, the Dash devs of manipulating the seed to their favor, but it looks like it right now.
Yeah, I mean that's how bad we really need to win this. Everyone needs that Arby's gift card that bad. That's so much that we hosted a tournament to try to get it.
Yeah, but derp says no thank you to checking that boss. It's pretty much 50-50 to be able to kill it. Ridley and Dragon are not going to be killed anytime soon, so definitely not a terrible play, but yeah, and Bress also not doing the same thing. So Wreck Ship, we're going to hope that we find it from the back with an item that allows us to traverse that area quickly, being high jump or gravity. But yeah, some interesting stuff going on here right now. As the two runners that went down are coming back up, and MM2 and PapaSchmo are both heading to Gauntlet.
Yeah, I mean, I think right now, definitely looking for a little bit of E, and then just wanting to go ahead and check these portals, basically see where the next set of progression is going to be, because Wreck Ship, like you're saying, can be a bit risky, especially with, since we're not doing any kind of save scumming, that could be a major time penalty, or a major time loss.
Yeah, MM2 was in the asset for just a little bit too long. Thankfully, that reserve was filled with that ship refill. Shoutouts to reserve tanks if people were keeping up with adventures.
Yeah, shout out to Metroid MST in chat. I'm sure he's going to be throwing up some wicked emotes for that too.
He does have some good emotes, but yeah, those of you who are keeping up with us at SG Live in person, we had a lot of fun with reserve tanks and their relative value to this randomizer. This is kind of what I was expecting. Bress is gonna go to the right, given that PapaSchmo is checking these left portals. You can do that. There are 4 more portals in Criteria. We found the first 2. Well, we found the one at the bottom. There's 2 on the left, 2 on the right. So we can see if our other runners can check these portals. Hopefully, get the CWJ relatively quickly, and see where we go from there. As we said, our runners, they're never going to have to retrace each other's footsteps. So whatever they find, whatever they get, is shared. So
let's see what we got at this remote key hunter room.
There's Kraid's lair, another boss area. Why not?
Also, shout out to Jestro for doing tracking on this. I have tracking 4 screens is never easy.
Especially when they're doing different things, they're going different places. We're currently working out some technical issues. That's both. I think. I actually think
Derp's
I would
got
have
the
just kind of checked that
CWJ.
boss there, but they both want to do this CWJ. Maybe come back.
Well,
Maybe
remember,
not.
if you reset, your partner has to reset too. So that makes all the save scumming a lot more difficult. It's not as easy as just when you're playing solo, going ahead and
Yeah.
checking Kraid's lair and then having to go back. You'd reset the progress of the other person as well.
Okay, so I need to figure out these portals because I
Nice
see.
springboard jump breasts.
Oh, okay, that's a
Okay.
fun one. I see how they got into Red Tower, but I didn't see where the G4 door went. So yeah, shout outs to Spring Ball, which was collected by MM2, and then he was able to let Breast do a easier strategy than the CWJ. You can see on Derp's end, he's struggling a little bit with it, but this is okay. Yeah, and here's something. So this is what I was gonna say that where both of the teams were, I think you probably could have detoured your teammate to be able to, save while you were, doing this save scum as well. Just because, you're both kind of close to a save. And that mitigates a little bit of what Koopa was saying regarding, a save scum is a lot more risky in this. Obviously, 2 boss areas now that we've seen. And yeah, as you see, the spring ball jump is much easier.
All right, let's go, Derp. Let's go, Pops. Let's see what's up. Oh,
Here
back
is
of
an
East
East
Meridia.
Meridian.
That is not what you want to be seeing.
Okay, and it looks like the top of West Meridia was over there on the left side of Business Center. So we've got some interesting decisions here to make. Hell runs are a little bit undesirable right now for the energy that they have, but also from kind of where both of you are, it's like if Brest doesn't do that, he's either going back to that boss location that he didn't check, or just kind of following what M2 is doing, which you maybe don't want to do. We're gonna see. We
Well,
did see a save, so we're gonna do this ice hall run for
well,
sure.
one thing that they could do is one player could go to the ship and the other could go ahead and keep refilling while the hell runs are happening.
That is certainly an option, yeah. As
That's one way to sort of get around it, which makes it a bit less time costly. But the penalty for that is like your partner isn't able to go ahead and check a bunch of other important things. Okay, nice E-tank there.
So if Brest had wanted to not keep this item, which was an E-tank, it is going to let him get out easily. Although I am not sure how I feel about one person out running while the other's doing early X-ray. That seems a little risky.
It's mm2nescartridge and breast. Is this not like the riskiest profile ever? This is exactly what I expected from them. Just
Yeah.
just they're flexing.
Yeah, so MM2, I'm gonna say maybe a little bit fortunately, messed up one of those jumps and had to reset the room. So Brest is done with his hull run, and you can see, different strategies. PapaSchmo is in Slaughter's refill while Derp is doing this hull run. So Derp is in no danger. Obviously, he's gonna get this E-Tank, it's gonna be fine. But I think Brest is probably gonna wanna, get to a safe location where there is no danger of any kind. And he chooses West Meridian. There is a farm here, of course. Ooh, and it's charge beam at X-ray, so things are. That is definitely going to be a good find. So as we said, we were working on some tracker issues. That's why it looks like our stream has been reset. We'll get back into this layout hopefully pretty quickly. Very fun layout here, as you can see. Lots of wide things. But yeah, it looks like
Race
yeah,
is too
Bryce.
big, just can't be contained.
Exactly. So yeah, look, because of the health situation, I'm gonna say Brest just kind of sat there and farmed that Meridia escape place while M2 was comfortably getting back through the X-ray hall. So well done. Again, that's one of the cool teammate things you can do in these. Unfortunately, we missed out on whatever. Oh well, I was gonna say we missed what PapaSchmo got at Spazer, but he just moved through the water very easily. So clearly, it was gravity at Spazer.
Yeah, it's great to see.
Yeah, you
Pop's
can see
also
his.
rocking the official Dash Team Sprite that he posted up earlier today for us. Unfortunately, Oh, yeah, it is gravity. There you go.
Okay, yeah, and Press just found a green Bryn star here at Main Street, and yeah, it gets the gravity, so now like everything is easy in the water. Very nice timing, and Derp is finally gonna do our first boss area check between our forerunners. With gravity, especially, you can be pretty confident that you can do anything. It's just a matter of you know, what you want to do as far as, you know, if it's Ridley especially, like your partner's gonna have to find the farm spot.
Oh, most definitely. I mean, the ammo's there for it, but it's yeah. This is not the kind of health you want to be doing Ridley on.
It's really not. So Derp is in Kraid's lair. PapaSchmo, he's in East Meridia. MM2 just looked at East Meridia and then is checking this. And Bress, yeah, he's in Green Brinstar, which is a nice place to be, you know. Okay.
Well, Green Brinstar's got, in Major Minor, it's definitely super heavy, but in Chozo, it's still pretty dense for minors while still packing like a bunch of majors. It's definitely a sight for sore eyes.
Yeah, the
How's that miss?
most sorry, but yeah, I was gonna say the most dense major wise for Chozo, funnily enough, is criteria. There's 5 there between you have Morph, which, you know, debatably isn't randomized in this mode. You've got, you know, the Alpha Missile, that's 2, and then you have 230 BT and Gauntlet. Obviously, you know, with the settings that we typically play, none of those are suits, but that's, you know, 5 majors in one area. Obviously, majors is, you know, a bit of a loose term since Chozo includes some minor items, but
Yeah.
3 is a lot still.
Okay, so far just finding an E-tank. So we've got Botswoon down, and we had Vanilla Kraid, which Derp took care of.
Nicely done. So,
I'm really
unbeknownst to our
interested
runners, they were perfectly safe. Go ahead.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say I was just wondering where this top of green Bryn is. That could potentially be pretty important to what this routing ends up looking like.
Yeah, and if Bress checked the middle portal, I didn't
Oh.
see is there's a Varia, so very nice green Bryn find as a one of those quirks that you can see in Multitroid where the game kind of doesn't like to reset, you know, beams if you don't pause or like do a screen transition. So PapaSchmo was firing a beam that didn't look normal. I think he maybe got like Spazer while he was in that room, something like that. So that's always fun. So yeah, we're gonna see MM2. You know, the only danger he's in is if he takes a billion damage from whatever boss this happens to be. But you know, he's pretty good at this game. So you know, I'm sure he's confident that whatever he faces here, he can deal with. Honestly, Dragon might be the worst one. Honestly, just because like, you know, it's just an ammo kill with, you know, charge beam supplements where, you know, it's kind of a slow way to do things. Ridley, you know, like you have supers and you just kind of plow into Ridley. So
Yeah, I
interesting to
mean,
see
I
where
don't
this
think
goes.
Ridley would be too bad. Dragon is definitely the slowest boss you could possibly get here.
And look at that, another vanilla. So we actually know our final remaining bosses. 2 vanilla is the maximum. Because we were playing a mode where the bosses are in theory shuffled, we make sure that you know, we have at least 2. So 2 vanilla bosses, Kraid and Dragon. The other 2 are going to be flipped. Ridley in the wrecked ship, which they definitely were not going to be able to do when they found it very early, and Van Toon down there in the lower Norfair. So yeah, MM2 is gonna have to deal with this. And again, another, you know, a thing you got to be aware of, and you know, the teamwork and cooperative aspect of this. MM2 is doing a boss where he's, you know, he's definitely gonna take some damage. Bressingham is in absolutely no danger of anything right now in Green Brinstar. So, you know, he can just kind of chill if, you know, MM2 gets at a position where his health gets low or his ammo, you know, doesn't finish off the fight, as, you know, he's also doing these pseudo screws. And you can see Bress could have, I mean, he didn't even pick up that energy tank, which is a little bit interesting in my opinion, but he could have, you know, just kind of waited out and hung out by that E-tank and, you know, say, hey, M2, if you get low, I can just refill you right now.
But it looks like they're through, no danger. Let's see, just checking. Yeah, bye-bye ice.
And Lower Norfolk back found at the top of Green Hills. So,
Okay, that's great for Bress.
Yeah,
I
definitely
guess
going to be able to
Papa's gonna
continue
find this
here.
shortly.
And MM2 does pick up the E-Tank that his teammate was very much, happy to see. Ellen from the back, immediately you're greeted by 3 key hunters, and they don't have plasma, they don't have screw. And no one wants to shoot those things out. They take a long time, so very, very nicely placed and timed E-Tank for the world, as it were.
I forget, have we seen what the front of Lower Norfair is? I think
We
we
have not
did.
seen that to my knowledge, unless it was the middle of Greenbryn, because I didn't see that when.
I thought maybe Jack can help us out with that. I thought Pops found that quite early on.
I mean, I've definitely got some missing information. Like, I don't know the middle of Greenbryn, I don't know G4, so those are both possible places that they could have seen that. But yeah, Derp is going to find this Varia, which is going to make it very nice for the Team Dash devs. They're going to be, not worried about bosses anymore, basically. And yeah, interesting to see how these things work out. MM2 is going to a Norm portal. This back of East Meridia, I do know where that goes. That's back to Red Tower, which he's even the one that checked that, so he definitely should know that.
Yeah.
As Bress is running through Lower Norfair, and again, some spike damage and some metal pirates there. You do want to be a little careful. Obviously, like we said, with the rule set that they're playing under, any death is extremely punishing.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, that said, these are both excellent runners who can handle very low health situations, very comfortably, no nerves at all.
I think my co-commentator and I are on opposite sides of. I'm trying to will their safety into existence, and Kupo's trying to commentator curse them by saying how good they are.
Yeah, but they are good. Come on, you've seen them. It's not. I'm not trying to curse anything. My voice has no effect over the course of the race whatsoever. This is just gonna. I just want to see a good show, which is exactly what we're seeing.
That's right. Bress is in his Fantoon fight. A pretty good Doppler on the first one. I don't know if he's set up for a 2-round. He's not going to get the left mid because left mid doesn't exist until you don't cover it. This is what I've learned in my short time playing this game. But yeah, we have.
Nice Doppler brass. All right, PapaSchmo is going back up Red Tower, and then Derp is about to hit Lower Norfair, I believe, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Derp basically falling behind Bress, where PapaSchmo has been doing similar things to MM2, but they're currently in like opposite directions of East Meridia. Can't be 100% sure where they're going.
But Derp is picking up that E-Tank.
Yeah, so MM2 is headed. He's back in Criteria, so maybe he'll go through this door and show me where it is. He's not, unfortunate.
Oh, looks like he heard.
What are we going to do on PapaSchmo's side? Yeah, that is boss number 3. Oh well, I guess. Where did we find that Bacharach ship? Yeah, I'm kind of surprised. Oh, MM2 needs to. They haven't done crate. That's what MM2 is doing right now.
Yeah.
And probably Bress is going to be the one that's closer to one of the ends of wreck ship. Maybe? I really don't know.
I think Pops is waiting. Yeah. I was wondering if he was waiting. Him and Derp were communicating about damage or something like that, but I don't know if that makes any sense right now.
Yeah, their health is pretty high, so they weren't in too much danger, but key hunters are going to do what key hunters are going to do.
Key hunters have ended several runs, so it wouldn't surprise me.
I definitely put myself in a situation earlier this week during practice where I had like 114 health or something like that. So, the first 2 key hunters I killed very slowly. And I was like, I'm not going to take 3 hits. I'll just, go through this one and be fine. And then I took 2 hits to the final key hunter and I didn't shoot the blocks and I was terrified. I lived though, but...
I think Key Hunters is one of the most it's like when you see people do it, it's like, yeah, no problem. And then you start doing it yourself and it's like, this is actually quite difficult, can be quite difficult.
The thing about, purely watching a speed run, especially if you're watching one of those top runners, they are doing things and you don't realize that they're doing things in a very specific way and that there's a specific reason for such things. So, you might be like, you see someone coming up, the key stairs there in Lower North Fair. Brest is about to do it. If you watch a vanilla
Yeah.
speedrun, they're going to do some movement that's very subtle and doesn't look like it's anything, but it makes the key hunter pattern manipulated into a way where you can just, dodge them if you do your inputs right. Uh, and if you don't do that, you're probably just going to, run right into them and wonder, why they're so terrified of you or vice versa.
So we do have Mass asking, do we know where Turian is? And I have to say, I don't know.
I don't know either.
I do know Pops went through, he's doing wreck ship right now.
Yeah.
So this should be one more boss down, and then it looks like they won't be too far behind. Would you say Bress and MM2Ness have a pretty substantial lead at this point?
So this is gonna be boss numbers 3 and 4, pretty simultaneously here for Pops and Derp. M2, one of M2 and Bress has to go down to Wreck Ship, which is where PapaSchmo is. So positionally, I mean, honestly, I would say if anyone's in the lead, it might be the Dash devs, but again, that really depends. Okay, Chat says Turian's in Green Star. That was one of my outstanding knowledge points. So if that's the case, this makes a ton of sense because M2 could do these like criteria things. Brest can just go to Turian right now. He might be
Yeah.
waiting for a little bit. But if that's the case, then yeah, what you were saying was true. That's a very large advantage positionally in the map because Brest is already in Green. But I guess Derp will be, he's basically as much time as it takes to get out of LN behind, right?
Yeah. I mean, it does seem like they are then positionally just like quite far ahead. I will say it is very difficult to keep track of everything going on with 4 screens and what seems like almost everything randomized.
Yeah. Also nice. It was a before the stream got reset, Derp's stream was not being kind to us. I don't know if that was on his end, on SG's end, or maybe a combination of both, but his stream was, going a little bit slowly. So with everything situated, it's very nice. But we're gonna see. I mean, if Brest goes here and we see Turian, like Chat has mentioned, we're gonna be totally fine. And they're gonna be, like we said, much closer to the end of the game. M2 will, and M2 is like, I mean, being already in criteria kind of didn't matter because you're just gonna be waiting for your teammate to do Turian regardless. Yeah, Brest just being here, just kind of farming, again says to me that not only do they know that this is Ridley, but he's also like just chilling. You don't really want to go in the Turian door before all the bosses are dead because then the cutscene will activate.
Well, that's actually funny. I think Mass and I, when we were running, we discovered that, and Mass, who's in chat, please feel free to correct me if I'm wrong, but once the 4 bosses are dead, they still sink down. It's just they sink down independent of whether you're in the room or not, which is what happens in the vanilla game. So we might see
Really
Brest go.
funny.
Yeah, so we might see Matt or Brest go in, and he will still have to see some of the cutscene if he goes in. It's like, but they will still be. It's like going down.
That is actually really cool.
Well, that's one of the things in Multitroid where we were wondering. It's like, wait, it's like you're at Turian. Yeah, we killed all 4 bosses, right? Yeah. Oh wait, okay, right. That's just one of the underlying tricks of how it works.
Yeah, so we can see Brest may or may not have known those things that you were saying, so he just kind of waited for quite a bit. He's definitely in this area,
Oh,
well
there we
after
go.
MM2 finished. And if MM2 does what PapaSchmo did, because you kind of have a free amount of time here, there is a plasma beam there at right super, so that's going to speed up your mother brain fight considerably.
Mass is saying maybe it's because he was in the room. It definitely happened in one of our practice seeds. Yeah, in the Turian hallway. So we'll have to understand a bit more how that works. I will say though, I have virtually 0 experience with Multitroid. PapaSchmo is the person who turned me onto this, and it is super fun. So, also want to give a quick shout out to the Multitroid devs, which is Lauren and Osterhavel. They actually helped us implement Dash support in this like insanely quick. And that's what's making all of this possible right now.
So it looked like PapaSchmo was contemplating whether or not that was a pickup of an X-ray. I think if I was Derp, I might have told him no, just because You don't want to miss menu and stop in your tracks with the X-ray, which is always a fun thing that happens to people who aren't used to item canceling when they don't necessarily need to. But yeah, M2 did pick up that plasma, so Bressingham, pretty much Metroid rooms ahead of derp, and both of the other runners are going to be at the ship very soon. And they're just going to be waiting for their teammate to finish. So we do have, once again, this is a really quick one. We were talking, Koopa and I, a little bit early about, how long this one's going to take. I don't think either of them are even going to hit 40 minutes. And, very, very, it's solo. This would not take you, it would take you maybe close to double this time, depending on how you route it, right?
I mean, it's called Dash. Fast.
Oh. I think M2 was taking damage on purpose, but if he wasn't, that was scary.
Because that's how they're refilling. That's how they're refilling, not at the ship, just going to do this. Oh, that's clever.
Yeah, I mean, especially the Crystal Flash should not have to go into that refill room. I'm assuming Bress was trying to baby skip, and the fail kind of put that on. But that was really cool to see.
No, that's a really interesting strat. I hadn't considered that, but it makes total sense, especially with like more than enough ammo charge. Like, yeah, it's like go ahead and Crystal Flashing, especially when you're not the player going through Turian, definitely faster than doing something else. Like any of the other normal ways you'd used to be refilling.
Yeah, and MM2, who was in chat for the last race, was definitely talking. I think he has some experience, maybe not with Bressingham, but with other people on like vanilla co-op stuff with multi-trade. So he's definitely, very aware. He was talking about some like skipping some animations in places with some kind of something I really do not know, but he's definitely aware of everything that's going on is the point I'm trying to make.
Yeah, I mean, MM2 seems to know everything about this game. He's a wizard. Alright, so we're entering into Mother Brain 2 for Bress. And just going ahead, yeah. MM2Nest is just getting out of here, and I imagine he's just going straight for the ship at this point.
Make sure you don't take damage at the wrong time down here with the rainbow beam is coming for Bress.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure they're talking about that. You can always pause the game if something like that were to happen, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I see.
And they did have a reserve, so no
there you
worries.
go, coordinated.
Another thing, and you'll see this obviously much more in vanilla categories. If you, depending on where you are and what has happened, obviously where M2 is going, every door is blue, but your ammo does get completely drained when you, get hit by the rainbow beam. So I've seen some of the vanilla speedruns where someone has to wait somewhere to like farm a super. Like I think it's like the co-op Hundo run where like one of the last things someone gets is like beta power bombs while the escape is running. So you like need a super there. It can be interesting in those ways. So
Yeah,
they're no issue.
all right, looks like this is gonna be done in no time.
Yeah, Mother Brain 2 down for both runners. Or no, down for Bressingham. That's Mother Brain 1 down for derp.
All things considered, though, when we were talking about it's like the big advantage, like they're not that far apart. This worked out pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, Mother Brain 2 with the ammo/beam that derp has. I don't think missiles are actually worthwhile, but I do think supers are. Someone who knows things better than me can, quote that. But,
I don't know things better, but I can know what I say, and it's probably wrong, and someone can correct me. But I'm pretty sure supers versus full beam is like the same. But
yeah.
it just all depends on like what you're used to. I think at this point.
That was a fun little dodge of that catch-up by derp, as Mother Brain may or may not be dead. She's not dead. I guess. Oh, they did not get charge.
Yeah.
Forgot where that was. Oh, that was an X-ray. That makes sense not to have gotten in. I think I would have paused instead of just, playing jump rope. But I guess considering you're getting a ship refill regardless, the damage you take really doesn't matter. So, have some fun, I guess. But
let's wait for that thing to propagate and refill. There we go.
Yeah, I apologize for misleading chat. I had forgotten. I just assumed they both had charge, and they very clearly don't.
Derp damaging down to the correct amount of health. Perfect.
The exact correct amount. That is right. So yeah, MM2 first in the ship. Shoutouts to Bress for doing all the hard work. He's the MM2 is the guy on the group project who signs his name at the end and is like, "We did great work."
Remembering he doesn't have speed.
Yes, the true final boss of Turian. Remembering your item set.
Yeah. Doing this without high jump, I still think is worse than doing it without speed, though.
Definitely when you fall and oh wow, have you ever seen the bottom of that room? Right there.
Yeah, yes, I have. I'm not very good at this game. It happens quite frequently. Thank you for pointing that out. I'm gonna go drown my sorrows after this.
Not my intention, but yeah, that was you get hit and the no speed. You don't have the iframes from the Spark that you just did. Yeah, we're gonna see a wall jump climb here. That is one of the more fun things to see when you don't have speed. See how it goes, and it's also you never wall jump climb up the left side of this. When you're coming back up here at the beginning of the game, so a little bit different. Well executed from Bress. I would not have done it that well.
MM2 just solid flexing in chat. His god brain. Good job, MM2.
Yes. Someone on the team remembered that speed was not collected, and you only need one. That's important. As Bress is done, and that's going to be a victory for Team World. 31:56 looks like the final time for them as Derp is
that is a
about
quick
to slay.
speed.
It really is. Derp's about to slay Mother Brain at 3 with this Rainbow Beam. I do not. Is Rainbow Beam also shared? If PapaSchmo would just fire his beam and we could see, that'd be great.
I don't know. I mean, what's he gonna shoot? He's gonna just shoot the ship?
I mean, why not? It's a weapon of pure chaos and destruction, so why not?
Well, speaking of chaos and destruction, we've got mm2ness and bressingham in chat. GG's.
GG's gamers.
Yeah.
This
GG's.
was fun. I think this was also our fastest scene.
I mean, we were wondering earlier, it's like, how long are these again? And yeah, 30 minutes for a multi-troid is pretty good, especially without save scumming to oblivion.
Yeah, and with area. But turns out, if you get both suits, you save time.
Yeah, suits tend to help. I've heard that.
Yeah, I think this is like we did 2 practice seeds on Friday. Neither one we got Varia.
Oh, wow.
Because you can just stand in front of a refill station and fill up.
Farming strats dialed in for that.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Well, we were both really impressed with the Crystal Flash after the baby skip attempt. We thought that was really clever, seeing that.
Yeah, that was planned. But I mean, it's basically like a old multi-troid speedrun strat. Is have someone ready to Crystal Flash if you miss baby skip, if you can.
Okay. So yeah, I definitely don't have any experience in multi-troid, but is that something Bress and MM2, both of you have done like quite a bit of in the past, or are you fairly new to it? It sounds like you both have some experience with it.
I've done a ton of it. Me and Farfalu currently hold the 2-player RBO world record. We stole it from Kip and Fuzda, I believe, a couple years back.
Dash dev team showing just complete ignorance on that subject. My bad.
But
I did some in the past with Farfalu as well. There was a SM Rat multi-troid tournament, and me and Farfalu actually won that. But Farfalu did all the routing and thinking. I just played, so I didn't really learn anything.
Yeah, GG's to Team Dash Dev. It looks like Derp was the final on the ship. He stopped his timer at 34:18, so about 2.5 minutes between you. That was, like I said, it was really fast. It was really interesting. Kupo had to remind me multiple times that safe scumming a boss was twice as hard as it normally is, because I was like, you find wreck ship immediately and no one checks it, and I was like, you could. Obviously, it was really, and it was better to have not, but you all obviously did, great teamwork. I am gonna let Kupo handle most of this interview because I have to get ready for my match, so I'm gonna say GG to you two as well as Derp and PapaSchmo, and try to make it 3-0.
Yeah, good luck.
All right, goodbye forever, DJ. You better do us proud.
Hey, okay, the good news is I played the async of this week earlier today and I died stupidly, so I've already got all the DOM out of my system.
All
Yeah,
right,
nothing
Good to
further
hear.
could go wrong now.
Exactly.
No, impossible.
do,
All right.
do your best so I can get that Arby's. Thank you.
All right. See y'all.
Yeah, peace, DJ D-Web.
Yeah.
Wait, so how did MMT? Oh, well, we're joined right now by PapaSchmo and Derp in chat. GG's. 3-minute difference. That's nothing to be. That's pretty close, I think.
It's pretty close. These are really short though, so like it's a lot different than like a 3-minute difference at an hour-long race. But
Right.
still,
Yeah,
GG's.
but, yeah.
Glad we
Yeah,
were at
GG's.
least like all finishing near the same time.
Yeah.
Yeah, how did you find Multitroid for this one, or this seed in particular? I think like the major difference was like the lack of charge, whereas like Bress and MM2 picked that up, and that was at X-Ray, correct?
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess we did do a lot of ammo checks. Maybe a little bit too much, given that we had to refill in Mother Brain anyways.
Yeah, that's one of the things you forget about is you don't actually you count ammo because you're just used to doing that. But in Multitroid, you don't have to do that because there's somebody at the ship refilling for you anyway. So we definitely do not need to check as many or pick up as many ammo packs.
Well, you were both teams. You were both in Mother Brain 2 around the same time. Sorry, at the exact same time. I think Bress was just finishing up as like Derp was going through it. But then the big delay, I think, was then PapaSchmo had to go ahead and head back to the ship while Derp performed some like Mother Brain gymnastics in order to go ahead and just like finish that one out.
I think I said out loud.
Of the time.
I think I said out loud, like, I should be pausing here, but I wanted to just show off, just catch up for 30 seconds.
It was entertaining. That's exactly what we're here for. So it was perfect. How did you all feel about your route? Did you feel like, I mean, there was anything that it's like you would have like normally considered doing, but then it's like because it's Multitroid, you sort of held back, or was there anything that like you went in thinking it's like this is the strategy we have to go for?
I mean, I think one of the bigger decisions for us was having Bress fall down west instead of going back and do crate area after checking business center. And then I found Gravity at Spacer right after that, so he did west and got a bunch of good map info, and then found Green Bryn. And then our endgame route worked out pretty well. Bress was only waiting for a little bit, and having crate outstanding was not fantastic because somebody had to go back, and Bress was way closer to Turian than I would have been. So it worked out better for him to do Turian and me to do the rest of the bosses. But it just
I pretty much let MM2. Yeah, I pretty much let you just route it, and I'll just do what you say. It's really hard to like be aware of where your opponent is and where you are and where you're going and what you need to do and what's the best option. So
yeah,
but I had a lot of fun.
No, this is great. This is so much fun. If there was a Multitroid tournament, I would totally enter it with either Bress or Farfalu or somebody.
Only Bress or Farfalu, though.
Yeah.
Not Derp. I can't play with somebody I've beaten.
So true.
Yeah, I don't think we had any real like let's totally go for this strategy like before the race. But I think during the race, a couple of I guess the one big thing that was like was we had picked up Varia, and I was like, all right, well, I know where front of LN is. I'm just gonna go there. Meanwhile, as soon as I get to that portal, Derp finds the back of Lower Norfair. So at that point, I had to stop what I was doing, check out the tracker for a second, figure out where I was gonna go next. Luckily, it wasn't too far out of the way for anything else. But I think overall, Derp and I had some good communication. We seemed to be both on the same page, and it was definitely fun. I second, third, and fourth the whole Multitroid tournament. It would be amazingly fun, and all of us would join because it's great.
I mean, I think we have to give a special shout out to Pops here on this because Pops is the one who introduced Multitroid to me, at least. And I think that's what got us like starting. It's like we should get Multitroid support. This is awesome.
Yeah.
So this is basically all a product of Pops.
Thanks, Pops.
Thanks, Pops.
Thanks, Pops.
It started out as just like as a suggestion because every time somebody's like, let's play a thing, I'm like, could we make it Multitroid? And it just caught on, and I mean, props to me for starting it, but everybody else just like immediately magnetized on the Dash dev team and was like, oh, we could do this. Oh, we should check. Oh, we could have that. Blah, blah, blah. And it just like blew up in the dev team channel, and then all of a sudden it was like pretty much a thing, and it was great.
I mean, I think from like initial thought to we're running a showcase for this, it was a month, maybe, right?
Yeah, it was super.
Might have been
super
even
short.
less than that, honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just remember getting the DM from Kip that was like, hey, do you want to do this in the middle of rehearsal? And I was like, holy crap. Yes, this is going to be like the most fun thing ever. So, yeah, it was great. Definitely like the routing felt similar to routing co-op SMD3, which I have way too much experience with.
Yeah, I'm sure that gave a little bit of the leg up. I've gotten a lot more comfortable routing area and co-op stuff and stuff like that, but nowhere near the experience level of MN2 yet. So, GG's boys.
GG's y'all.
GG's.
Definitely super fun.
GG's.
I had a lot of fun.
Yeah. Any final words before we go ahead and get ready for our next race?
For me, I'm just excited to be on comms with MM2 and Professor School. 3-way comms, final race.
Indeed.
Let's go.
Yep. Here it comes. Co-op, area, Chozo. Do they have boss double? Can't remember.
I'll double check while anybody else has any last words.
Thanks for having me, and great job, Dash dev team. You guys are awesome, and yeah, this was really great. I'll be watching the last race.
All right.
Go World.
yeah, go.
Go Kip.
Team
Save
World.
us. Give us
Come
one
on.
win.
Go Kip, come on. It counts for all the marbles. All right, well, thanks everyone for joining. And then in about 20 minutes, we've got our next race, which is going to be Kip and Cassidy versus Zeb316 and D-Web. That one is going to be, that's not going to be a Multitroid. It's going to be a co-op, but that should be a fantastic race. So with that, my name is Kupo. If you want to find out, D-Web was with me on comms. If you want to find out anything more about the Dash Randomizer, we're at dashrando.net. And I also wanted to give a shout out to Jestro for tracking all of this with 4 people doing area in multi. This is definitely a lot to handle. And we'll see you all again in about 20 minutes.